Hare 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 Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. August Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to today's Bhagavatam class. Today we are going to be discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, verse 36. And we are having a wonderful discussion here about questions that Lord Brahma is asking to Lord Krishna. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead is giving the divine instructions and realization, the instructions and guidance to Lord Brahma. We're very happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you and Srila Prabhupada Maharaj. And it's all yours.
Okay. 1 minute and I'll be right with you.
No problem, Maharaj. Take your time. No problem at all.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Etāvad-jijñāsyaṁ tattva-jijñāsunātmanaḥ. Anvaya-vyatirekābhyāṁ sarvatra sarvadā. So this is the fourth and the final verse in the series of the Chatur Slokis, summing up the essence of the science of bhakti. A person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search for it up to this, in all circumstances, in all space and time, in both directly and indirectly. Okay, to unfold the mystery of Bhakti Yoga, as it explained in the previous verse, is the ultimate stage of all inquiries. Can you hear me?
Yes, sorry, Marge.
Okay. So this first line, think about it. To unfold the mystery of Bhakti Yoga, as is explained in the previous verse, is the ultimate stage of all inquiries. So there's so many levels of inquiry. This is the highest form of inquiry, or the highest objective for the inquisitive. So these two statements kind of pattern each other. There's nothing higher to inquire. Everyone is searching after self-realization in different ways. And then by karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, raja yoga, bhakti yoga, etc. To engage in self-realization is the responsibility of every living entity developed in consciousness. So those who have some intelligence, whose consciousness is not dragged down by the lower modes of material energy, then those persons, they have the responsibility to engage and to inquire into about the process of self-realization. Others, they can't, because their consciousness cannot even begin to understand or even inquire into such levels of spiritual philosophy. They're too much on the bodily platform, and even if they do inquire, they can't understand. One who is developed in consciousness certainly makes inquiries into the mystery of the self. So the self, that refers to us, the pure spiritual being, is hidden within the body. We're not aware of our own identity, but we want to find out. So inquiry is the means. and what else of the cosmic situation, of the problems of life, in all spheres and fields, social, political, economic, cultural, religious, moral, onward, and in these different branches. But here the goal of such inquiries is explained. So people who are very inquisitive inquire from all angles of vision into different types of subject matters, which are part of this material world, but also they also engage in trying to understand their existence. So here, if you go back down the page again to the previous paragraph, it says here, and to understand the problems of life. So what are the problems of life? So the problems of life is not about eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These are not problems. These come naturally by one's activities in the material world. One of the real problems of life is to solve the problem of birth and death. Why do I have to die? Why do I have to get old? Why do I have to suffer? Why is all of these things imposed upon me without my consent, you might say? So this is a good inquired problems of life. And then Prabhupada goes on to say in all other areas. So this first paragraph is talking about those who are inquisitive. They want to know. And they make efforts to find out in different areas of life, but then they come to the point of understanding the real problems of life. And then that inquiry has merit. It will bring about some positive result. So then it goes on to explain the Vedanta Sutra philosophy begins with this inquiry about life. And the Bhagavatam answers such inquiries up to the point or the mysteries of all inquiry. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the answer to all questions. Yeah, because everything is contained in the Bhagavatam, all the subject matters, and all of it is related to one's progress in spiritual life. Lord Brahma wanted to be perfectly educated by the personality of Godhead, so he's speaking to God himself, face to face. And here is the answer by the Lord, finished in 4 nutshell verses, from Aham Eva to this verse, Etavam Eva. This is the end of all self-realization process. So these 4 verses make up the whole understanding of self-realization and the process by which one can attain it. Men do not know that the ultimate goal of life is Vishnu, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. People think the goal of life is to be happy by gaining material positions, material things, relationships that somehow are fulfilling on the material level. But they don't know that the real goal of life is to awaken their natural connection with the Supreme Lord. And therefore, they remain bewildered by the glaring reflection in the material world. And everyone is entering into this dark area of region of material existence. Why? Because they're driven by their uncontrolled senses. When the senses become uncontrolled, it just keeps going in the wrong direction to try to find satisfaction. The whole material existence has sprung up because of sense gratification. Desires are based principally on the sex desire, and the result is that in spite of all advancement of knowledge, the final goal of all activities of the living entity is sense gratification. Prabhupada says a man becomes happy if he thinks he can eat nicely, or if he thinks he has a regular program for sex life. Don't make these indications on the page. It kind of distracts my attention.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah. So the goal for the
What?
what happened?
I don't know. Okay, we're back. I don't know. It just changed on me.
Don't play with the cursor. Just leave it alone.
I didn't. It just changed. Last night it did the same thing to me. It just cut us off in the middle of a Zoom class. So I can't help it now at this point.
Okay. But here is the real goal of life, and everyone should know by its inquiry put before a bona fide spiritual master, expert in the science of bhakti yoga, or from a living personality of Bhagavatam life. So basically, the spiritual master, or one who is fully engaged in pure devotional service. Everyone is engaged in various kinds of scriptural inquiries, but the Srimad Bhagavatam gives answers to all the various students of self-realization. We have to understand the value of Bhagavatam. Everything is, all the answers of all questions are in Bhagavatam. This ultimate objective of life is not to be searched out with great labor or perseverance. One who is imbibed with such sincere inquiries must ask the bona fide spiritual master in the disciplic succession of Brahmaji, and that is direction given here. So what it's saying, people want to find out the goal of life or happy by reading so many books, studying so many things, hearing so many from so many different people, and philosophically try to put everything together in some cohesive understanding. But there's no need for that. All you have to do is inquire from a bona fide spiritual master. Yeah. Such a spiritual master is able to clear up the whole thing by evidence from the revealed scriptures, both directly and indirectly. So, in other words, the scriptures is known by the spiritual master. He is what we say, the reflection of the knowledge of scriptures directly. Even if we go and try to search out all answers in scriptures, we might find it very difficult to come to some conclusion. But if you do it through the spiritual master who knows the scriptures and can understand the nature of the person who is inquiring, then that knowledge becomes freely available and easy to execute. Although everyone is free to consult the revealed scriptures in this connection, one still requires the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, and that is the direction in this verse, to search it completely, not just to skim through it and try to find an answer on one of the pages, to get the full understanding from the spiritual master. Who is the spiritual master? He's not only a representative of the Lord, he's confidential. That means he's receiving knowledge directly from the Lord. And one has received direction from the spiritual master in the same spirit that Brahmaji received it from the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So what does that mean? Through the disciplic succession. The bona fide spiritual master is the bona fide spirit is that in that bona fide chain of disciplic succession never claims to be the Lord himself. Anyone who says he's God, he's dog. The spiritual master a real spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, says, I'm a representative of the Lord, but I am not the Lord. And I can help you connect with the Lord because of my connection with the Lord. Although such a spiritual master is greater than the Lord, how is he greater? In the sense that he can deliver the Lord by his personal realized experience. So he's greater because he can deliver the Lord. When the Lord tries to deliver himself, it may be very difficult for people to understand or even approach. But the spiritual master, by his realized knowledge, can explain how one can approach the Lord. The Lord is not to be found simply by education, try to understand that, or by good, fertile brain. In other words, great intelligence. But surely he can be found by the sincere student through the transparent via media of the spiritual master. Okay, so let's see, go down the page a little bit more. Let me see what we have here. Okay, let's go back up. Okay, the revealed scriptures give direction to this end, but because the bewildered living entities are blinded by the glaring reflections in the darkness, so in the darkness, which is this material world, there's a reflection of the reality, but it's only a reflection. And they get blinded by this reflection. Therefore, they're unable to find the truth of revealed scriptures. For example, in the Bhagavad Gita, the whole direction is targeted towards the personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. But for one of a bona fide spiritual master in the line of Brahmaji, or the direct hearer, Arjuna, there are different distortions of the revealed knowledge by many authorized persons who just want to satisfy their own whims. As Srila Prabhupada says, there are many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of editions of Bhagavad Gita, but how many people are actually understanding Krishna and surrendering to Krishna? Therefore, when Bhagavad Gita as it is appeared, then people understood what is actually Bhagavad Gita. Undoubtedly, the Bhagavad Gita is accepted as one of the most brilliant stars in the horizon of the spiritual sky. Yet, the interpretations of this great book of knowledge have been so grossly distorted that every student of the Bhagavad Gita is still in the same darkness of glaring material reflections. Continue. Such students are hardly enlightened by the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, practically the same instructions are imparted in 4 verses of the Bhagavatam, but due to wrong and fashionable interpretations by unauthorized persons, one cannot reach the conclusion. So the point that is being made here, that one should find a bona fide spiritual master and hear about the scriptures from such a qualified person. And then one can understand the scriptures. Because nowadays, the scriptures, of course, if you get the instructions given by the bona fide spiritual master by his explanation of the scriptures, you're getting the knowledge purely. But still, because the knowledge is compact, one needs an explanation of the details of the knowledge in order to understand how to apply that knowledge in a day-to-day life. Because without application, philosophy remains theoretical. Therefore, we need to hear and inquire from the spiritual master. And therefore, if we read regularly this knowledge from Bhagavad Gita and from Srimad Bhagavatam, we will gain questions. Questions will come up regularly if we are seriously reading. And then when we present our questions to the bona fide spiritual master, the answers are easily understandable. So therefore, we should read and try to understand. And as questions will naturally arise from an inquisitive reader, then we present these questions and everything becomes clear. And then you can understand in relationship to your situation like that. So this is how everything is fully understood and not just partially understood or misunderstood by wrong interpretations given by so-called persons who claim to be authorities but who have no knowledge. They are interested in personal gain. Therefore, they make the speaking of the scriptures some pecuniary plan in order to gain some position, some money, some power, some followers, or some mental stimulation that they get from philosophically discussing these scriptures, but without a full understanding of the knowledge or even a proper understanding of the knowledge. Okay, so we can stop here and we can open it up for questions. We'll go on with this verse tomorrow and continue with part 2.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. This is such a wonderful topic. as you were speaking on this verse, I was thinking how it's so simply put by Lord Brahma. A question by Lord Brahma, so simply put by Krishna. Wonderful verse, Marge. Yes, I would request, thank you for stop the sharing, and if devotees can please turn on their videos wherever possible. And questions, Sridevi, you're on. You're next. Go ahead.
Thank you, Ansuya. Dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, who came to give us the absolute truth. As he was speaking on this verse, especially about how many unauthorized versions of the Gita are there, and how much misinterpretation and all kinds of fallacious arguments and counter-arguments happen in the name of Gita, I am thinking about how many people are unable to receive the mercy of the disciplic succession and are still in ignorance, especially in India. There is so much talk of Gita and so many people speaking so many times and in so many different ways. And all of them are, in ignorance because nobody is touching, as Prabhupada said, the spirit of the Gita or focusing on Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So for these people who are in the darkness of ignorance, being misled by all these cheaters, the only hope is our ISKCON movement and devotees, isn't it?
Well, you see the results. The results are people are actually taking to spiritual life and giving up the activities of sinful activities, and also moving more and more towards full engagement in activities of devotional service. So the results are there. And the results are not limited to one area of the world. It is seen in all areas of the world. So you can actually say that this has substance. Otherwise, how could people from all cultures and all backgrounds take to this philosophy, which is really coming from one area of the world, from India? But because it's universal knowledge and because it awakens one's attraction for the personality of Godhead, people are taking it up in a very serious way and becoming what we say lovers of God, engaged in devotional service. So the results are there. So all you have to see, if you want to understand something, you can see it by the results. And those who want to find out more, let them inquire into our society and take part. Come to our temples and learn more and see for themselves. But how many people can fulfill that statement, which was made in the early part of the purport, for people who are actually intelligent and not bewildered by the reflection in darkness?
Marge, thank you, Srideva. Such a on-point question. Any questions, devotees, please do raise your hand or you can put it in the chat. Marge, as you're reading the purport, Marge, and where Prabhupada was mentioning, listening the different ways, karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, and raja yoga by bhakti yoga. Marge, I was just thinking about the different yogas besides bhakti yoga. In terms of like karma yoga, jnana yoga, and dhyana yoga, that seemed to be like one of the path, but it seemed to be longer, right, Marge, to get to bhakti yoga? It was bhakti yoga like the best, the quickest way. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's not like that. These different yogas are understood like a ladder, and different yogas are on different rungs of the ladder. But if you want to go to the top, you have to take the complete yoga, which is, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, yoginam api sarvesham Candramauli Shravan bhajate yomam te me yuktatamo mataha. Out of all yogis, he who abides in me in great and transcendental faith is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. So in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions Astanga Yoga, and previously in earlier chapters, Karma Yoga. Jnana Yoga is also mentioned, and Raja Yoga is still part of, is Astanga Yoga anyway. Dhyana Yoga is part of Astanga Yoga. So all of that is mentioned in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. But then after explaining all the yogas, Krishna comes to the point of saying that the highest form of all yoga, yoga means to connect with. Connect with what? The Supreme. Is bhakti, because bhakti is the nature of the soul. Bhakti-amam avijananti. The nature of the soul is to love and serve the Supreme Lord. So that is the essence of bhakti. Karma is activities. Jnana is knowledge. Dhyana is a form of meditation. Raja is also meditation. So these different yogas are different levels on the yoga principle. But if you want the complete yoga, which includes all of the other yogas, then it comes to bhakti. We're not saying that just because we are practitioners of bhakti yoga. That can be understood by comparison and by performance also.
Marge, but can someone be on the Jnana Yoga level forever? Like, I mean, for a long time, because they are so set on just, because that's philosophy, like, so I was just wondering.
Yeah, there are what is called, what is it called? Krishna explains that in the Bhagavad Gita. What is it said? Maya-aparita jnana. They study so many books. They read. They're very adept in many subject matters, but they have no conclusion. They're still entangled in the cycle of suffering and in birth and death because they haven't taken to the process of seva. Till you engage in seva, jnana will remain what it is, jnana. Yeah. Bhakti Yoga is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to the teachings of the bona fide spiritual master, who engages the disciple according to how best that disciple can make progress to the process of service. He gives knowledge, but he also gives guidance. And that guidance, that's why sometimes people say you don't need a spiritual master, all you have to do is know the philosophy. Or they say that you can take initiation from Rupa Goswami or any of the Apastacharyas. Well, where's the guidance? Then you'll take guidance from your own mind, that's all. You need practical guidance. The spiritual masters will say, no, it's not like that, it's like this. No, don't do that, do this. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Marge. Thank you. Any questions from devotees, please?
And a third part is, you don't understand it, it's like this. Although we might think, even a jnani may misunderstand what he thinks is knowledge, but the spiritual master is clear. He knows the difference between the different philosophies, and he can teach the different philosophies, but he can also explain what is the highest principle for the complete yoga, like that. The spiritual master has to be accomplished or versed in all knowledge of Shastra.
Marge, in this verse, as you were reading, I was really caught the attention that even, where was it, that I'm trying to find that line because I don't want to concoct it, but paraphrasing that, Lord Brahma himself was taking instructions from Krishna, as in the, guru-disciple relationship. So that was pretty powerful, that if Lord Brahma can do that, yes, it's saying, the bona fide spiritual master is the most confidential representative of the Lord, and one must receive direction from the spiritual master in the same spirit that Brahmaji received from the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So even Lord Brahma had to be in that mode of guru disciple. And so to speak of us.
Yeah. All knowledge is coming from the source, which is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Supreme Lord is called Adi Guru, the original spiritual master.
Thank you, Marge. Yes, Silpesh Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your lotus feet, all glories to the assembled devotees. Guru Maharaj, in this process of Krishna consciousness, are all the other yogas automatically encapsulated in this process?
All the other yogas?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's mentioned in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It's called the yoga ladder. The yoga is on one level of the ladder, but the highest point in the ladder, or the goal, is to reach the top, and that is bhakti. If you just go through the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you'll get it. That'll be clear. Yeah. I mean, in different ages, there were different types of, just like in what is it? Not true. In college, what is that first yuga?
Satya Yuga.
Satya Yuga. Satya.
In Satya Yuga, yeah, the process was Ashtanga Yoga. Wasn't chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But that's also bhakti, Ashtanga. Krishna talks about Ashtanga Yoga in the 6th chapter, but then it's understood that it's too difficult for people in this age to practice Ashtanga Yoga. They can't do it. And they're not equipped to make all the arrangements, even to begin the practice, such as going to a secluded place and sitting in a certain direction, practicing pranayama and pratyahara and asana. That's all part of the yoga system. So people can't do it in this age. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya has given the same process through the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The philosophy is the same, but the practice is according to the level of people's ability in each age. And in this age, people are not inclined towards different austerities. They can't perform austerities. And they're not even desirous to perform austerities. So yeah, even if they wanted to, they can't do it. And even if they take it up, they give it up after some time because it's too difficult. But there are yogis today in the Himalayas who are practicing Ashtanga Yoga. But you don't see them. They don't come to the cities. They don't come to the towns and villages. They stay in the caves, in the mountains. And there's many of them. Sometimes you see them when the Kumbh Mela comes. Some of them are 300 years old, some of these yogis. Because through that process, they can extend their life. But it's not recommended. that generally people can take up this type of practice in this age. Manda sumanda matayo manya bhagya padrita. People are just not qualified.
Hope that helps, Silpesh Prabhu.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so the 6th chapter will give you the gradations of all the yogas.
We're very lucky in this age that Mahaprabhu has just given everything to us so simply.
Yeah, but even for most of us, it's too difficult. Although he's given it us so simply, it's still difficult.
And sometimes, Marsh, what is so simple might be like, is it, it's like too good to be true, as they say.
It's simple, but one of the qualities is determination and enthusiasm. You can't just take it up and then try it out. You have to work with it, stay with it, develop it, perfect it.
Thank you, Maharaj.
It requires determination and practice.
Key points, determination and practice. Thank you. Bhagwan Chaitanya Prabhu, please go ahead. You got a wonderful name, by the way. Bhagwan Chaitanya. Speaking about Mahaprabhu and your name is Bhagwan Chaitanya.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
It's Guru Maharaj mercy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He changed it around a little bit, but anyway. I gave him Bhagavan Chaitanya. He made him a Bhagwan.
Is there a spelling difference, Maharaj?
Yeah, Bhagavan, Bhagavan.
Oh, should not be.
Yeah, you put W instead of V. That's okay, Bhagavan.
Oh, okay. Oh, it'll become V instantly, Maharaj. No problem. It's like I'll change it to V.
Yeah, V.
I was wondering.
Yes, it's Bhagavan.
All right. Sure.
That's close.
Yeah.
And I always spell Chaitanya without the H. So
Okay. I will
spell
change both. I'll change both. In fact, I noticed yesterday that in Chaitanya Charitamrita it comes without the H. Yeah. So
it's right both ways, though.
yes. Can I go ahead with my question on that?
Yes, please.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'll start over. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Vaishnavas everywhere. Guru Maharaj, it's sort of a follow-up of a little bit of what we have been talking about. One of the things that strikes me most when we talk about the opulences of Krishna is there's all this beauty and strength and everything, but at the very end is renunciation. And I always think about all these powerful people on this earth, and what is wrong with them is that lack of renunciation. Once they grab a little bit of power, all is gone. So we talked about the difficulty of renunciation is the simple part of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Is it somehow when we do this practice of devotional service, are we also doing renunciation? Is it what is secretly giving us?
What does Rupa Goswami say? He gives a definition of renunciation. Anyahara ibisayan yeyatam upa unjite nirbande Krishna sambande yukta vairagya uchtate. Vairagya, yukta vairagya. Not just vairagya, but yukta vairagya. Give up the material, take up the spiritual. So when you're in the spiritual, you have already given up the material. So in that sense, you are on the platform of renunciation. There is Falguni renunciation. That means just to give up something without taking anything up positive. That kind of renunciation is not recommended in the process of bhakti. Just like you like to eat. All right, so eat prasad. You like to sing and dance for Krishna, engage in kirtan. You like to read books about the life of the Supreme Lord, about his pure devotees, about the process of bhakti. So we're taking those same principles that we do in the material world and connecting it to the spiritual realm, and that is renunciation.
So Maharaj, did all these principles also come from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Yeah, he teaches it. In fact, he teaches a higher level of renunciation, even the basic things in life. Like when he traveled, he never carried any money or any food. If they needed anything, his devotees would beg it, and then he would use it. In other words, they did madhukari. They didn't stock up all of their needs within the
Suitcase.
room. Yeah, and take it with them. Yeah. So the verse is Mahaprabhu Bhakti Ganir Vairagya Pradhan. Vairagya Pradhan. Pradhan means life. And so in this sense, this verse says the renunciation is the life and soul of the followers of Lord Chaitanya. They like renunciation. They like to sleep on the floor. They like to eat simply. They like to, give up all of the amenities that people chase after for the comforts of life.
It's amazing to me, Maharaj, that the things that you give up, you get the most, but most people don't know that.
Yeah. When you're giving up, you're actually not giving up anything because you never owned
it anyways. Exactly.
We're giving up the desire for sense gratification. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you. That was a very nice
question.
Maharaj.
Yeah, thank you.
Very nice question on renunciation. Thank you. Shiva Kumar Prabhu, please go ahead.
Those are the kind of questions I like. Well, I like all questions, but those questions have meaning. We can understand things from those questions. Not like, my mother won't let me go to the temple. What do I do? That's a question, but
that's more of a counseling thing, I think.
I get a lot of that. Please save me from my relatives.
Hare Krishna.
Mercy, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you. Shiva Kumar Prabhu, please go ahead.
You should see what I got today was, I'm not going to say anything about it. Anyway.
Maharaj, I know I can only imagine. I'm going through one for the past 3-4 months about when will I get my H1. I don't know what to do. Why isn't Krishna not giving me my H1 visa? I said, okay, Krishna.
Why isn't my dog, who I love so much, not coming when I call him?
Oh, it is interesting, Maharaj. It's really interesting. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Shiva Kumar, go ahead.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Maharaj and Lord Brahms. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, thank you, Maharaj, for clarifying. In the class, I just noted that point. The inquiries that we are supposed to do is not about the problems of life, but about the problems, but not about the maintenance or survival, but about the birth and death cycle, and how to get out of that cycle is the real problem, and that is what we should inquire about. So I was just making a note of that point, Maharaj, in the mind. Thank
Yeah.
you, Maharaj.
Yeah.
So,
Not how to make a better arrangement in the material world, but how to get out of the material world.
yes. So, Maharaj,
Most questions about how to make a better arrangement in the material world.
so Maharaj,
That's not the goal, because it's what we call it changing seats on the Titanic. The Titanic went down no matter who was on the people on the top went down later than the ones that were on the bottom, but they all went down. You read the story of the Titanic, you understand what happened. People on the bottom were realizing what was happening. People on the top were still partying. But eventually everyone got the same result. So this material world is just meant to take you down. Birth, old age, disease, death, miseries of the body and mind, miseries of other living entities, miseries of higher powers. Prabhupada was saying today, even if you're the richest person in the world, you're still miserable because you're always struggling to maintain your position, to somehow or other enjoy what you have achieved. No one is no matter what you position yourself in this world, you're going to have to deal with the threefold miseries. It's just the way it is.
You had
just one.
Yes, go ahead, Prabhu, with a question.
One question, Maharaj. In this translation, it reads as searching after a person who is searching after the truth must certainly search for it up to this. And we understand that this means Krishna, but should we understand that also as developing a loving relationship with Krishna, Maharaj? Because even a yogi would end his search in Krishna, but not with the goal of developing a relationship, but as Paramatma in the heart and probably reaching out.
One has to search completely till one actually reaches the understanding of what is the goal. And that this verse refers to the previous verse. To know knowledge and nescience side by side. What is knowledge and what is not knowledge?
Maharaj, just one follow-up question, Maharaj. You are talking about in the prayer yugas, the people in general might have been qualified to do Ashtanga yoga or other very very austere paths. So you are mentioning that people in Satya Yoga, people might have a large part of people might have taken up to Ashtanga yoga or something. So do they, after perfecting in Ashtanga yoga, do they start with yoga, Maharaj, or do they even develop a relationship with Krishna just through Ashtanga yoga, Maharaj? Is that?
Yeah, Ashtanga yoga is a bona fide process of bhakti, which ends with meditating within the heart on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The goal of Ashtanga yoga is samadhi, full absorption in the Supreme.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sridevi, you're next, Prabhu.
Thank you. Maharaj, as you were speaking more about this verse and how the spiritual master, the representative of God, is here to help you, I was thinking that even in spite of the fact that we hear so much philosophy, it's still all very theoretical. when it comes to facing the problems of life, unless we seek actively the guidance and instructions of our Guru Maharaj, we are simply floundering because theoretical knowledge is not going to help us.
Well, what you mean? All these classes we're having online is just a waste of time. Then is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that just theoretically trying to understand without exactly these questions and answers to really understand how to apply it, how to apply the philosophy, how to practice it in our day-to-day life. Unless we have this kind of what we are having here, it's just gyan. It's not. It doesn't become vigyan.
No, it can if you apply yourself to it. Even reading the Bhagavatam, you can come to the level of realization.
But just simply reading the books is not enough.
Well, that's what it says in this book, in this verse. Therefore, you have to inquire from the spiritual master to get an understanding of what you're reading. Not only an understanding, but the knowledge of application. But if you can understand directly, then that's fine. There are people who can simply read and apply. But that's not for the general person in Kali Yuga. These are for people who have been practicing bhakti for maybe a few lifetimes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
If you you understand one principle, always remember Krishna, then all of the knowledge you need for whatever else you're doing will automatically come but with Krishna within the heart. Just remember Krishna always. That's all. You're thinking remembering Krishna is just a matter of remembering him. It's not much more than that. It's connecting with him through the mind. When you're connected with Krishna, you're not part of this energy anymore. Remember Krishna always. That's one of the principles that Krishna explains as the foundation for the practice. Always remember, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your homage to me. He gives 4 principles. Srila Prabhupada has repeatedly said these 4 principles make up the whole essence of bhakti. If you want to really know the essence of bhakti, let's play around with this knowledge a little bit more, just to have some more fun. You want to have some fun? Okay.
Yes, Maharaj.
Anasuya, go to 11th canto, chapter 19, verse number 20.
11, 19, verse again, Maharaj?
20.
20, 11, 19, 20.
But 20 is a series of verses together.
Yeah, I was going to say, it is 20 to 24. Okay, I'm going to share right now, Maharaj.
Okay. I need somebody to read what this says. Krishna speaking this now. This is Krishna speaking.
Okay, I'm going to put this down so I can see the words here clearly. Firm faith.
Before you read, let me say one thing.
Sure, Maharaj.
This verse is a synopsis of the 64 principles that are mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Maharaj. Wow. Packed in this one paragraph here.
This is all of it right here.
Okay, Maharaj. Firm faith and the blissful narrations of my pastimes, constant chanting of my glories, unwavering attachment to ceremonial worship of me, praising me through beautiful hymns, great respect for my devotional service, offering obeisances with the entire body, performing first-class worship of my devotees, consciousness of me in all living entities, offering of ordinary bodily activities in my devotional service, use of words to describe my qualities, offering the mind to me, rejection of all material desires, giving up wealth for my devotional service, renouncing material sense gratification and happiness, and performing all desirable activities such as charity, sacrifice, chanting, vows, and austerities with the purpose of achieving me. These constitute actual religious principles by which those human beings who have actually surrendered themselves to me automatically develop love for me. What other purpose or goal could remain for my devotee?
So this is the whole
Wow.
thing. Yeah, 15 points that Krishna makes. This is
And Maharaj, and you said all this 15 is in that 64 principles of nectar of devotion.
yeah, if you summarize the 64 principles and you kind of like put it all together into a compact expression, you come up. Krishna has done that in this particular series of verses. 64 principles are the all of the activities in devotional service. So there's outside of this, there's no other activities.
Amazing, Maharaj. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's really,
wow.
yeah, it is wow.
Especially the especially the part, Maharaj, when Krishna is like giving up wealth for my devotional service. I'm like, okay, there we go, Krishna, renunciation. Amazing. Wow. It's
Okay.
like,
Yeah, and then if you are enthusiastic, you can read the purport maybe on your own because it's probably quite long.
Maharaj, actually, it's not. It's kind of short, actually.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's like, uh-huh. The words Mad Bhaktya Puja Bhyatika are significant in this verse. A Bhyatika indicates superior quality. The Lord is extremely satisfied with those who offer worship to his pure devotees, and he rewards them accordingly. Because of the Lord's generous appraisal of his pure devotees, worship of the pure devotee is described as superior to worship of the Lord himself. The words mat arthasvanga chesta state that ordinary bodily activities such as brushing the teeth, taking the bath, eating, etc., should all be offered to the Supreme Lord as devotional service. The words vachasha mat guneranam, indicate that whether one speaks in ordinary crude language or with learned poetic language, one should describe the glories of the glories of the personality of Godhead. The words mat artha ratta parityaga indicate that one should spend one's money for festivals glorifying the personality of Godhead such as Rath Yatra, Janmashtami, and Gaur Purnima. Also, one is herein instructed to spend money to assist the mission of one's spiritual master and other Vaishnavas. Wealth that cannot be used properly in the Lord's service and is thus an impediment to one's clear consciousness should be given up entirely. The word bogasya refers to sense gratification headed by sex enjoyment, and sukasya refers to sentimental material happiness, such as excessive family attachment. The words datam hutam indicate that one should offer to brahmanas and Vaishnavas first-class foods cooked in ghee. One should offer the vibration svaha to Lord Vishnu and an authorized sacrificial fire along with grains and ghee. The word japtam indicates that one should constantly chant the holy names of the Lord.
Mhm. Okay.
Amazing, Maharaj.
If
So it's
someone-
11, 19, 20. If devotees would like to go back and refer to this verse.
Yeah. 60, and it's been explained that the 64 principles that are mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion, 39 of them are vidis, things to do, and the rest are nishedas. That means things to do, things not to do, are summarized in these series of 5 verses here.
Really a power-packed verse, Maharaj. That was like so simply.
11th canto is mostly spoken by Krishna himself. If you read 11th canto, it's just unbelievable. Mostly all of the chapters are Krishna speaking to Uddhava.
Power-packed. Amazing. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Any questions from devotees? Please do raise your hand. This is a really power-packed verse. I had a question from Sri Devi's question. I completely forgot after reading this verse. I'm trying to crack my head to figure out why it's okay. I'm not gonna crack my head. I can't think of it. Any questions from devotees? Please do raise your hand. Yes, Revati, you can ask a question. Please jump right in.
Thank you, Mataji. Sorry, I didn't see the hand raised here, so I had to.
It's okay. No problem.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much. Very nice sessions, last 3 classes. So Guru Maharaj, I have a question about the Jnana Yogis. I want to just clarify, like Jnana Yogis, the knowledge, what kind of knowledge they refer? The only like knowledge to the self, like realization, the modes, or like how should we understand?
Jnana yogis, what is the essence of their knowledge?
Yes, Guru.
Yeah, the essence of their knowledge is to learn the process of detaching themselves from material activities.
They read Bhagavad Gita, but only like to morals, not the past.
They're more engaged in austerities and rituals and yogas and homas and various types of but they don't do devotional service to Krishna. It's all about them. They develop detachment. They start to understand I'm not this body. And then when through that, then they can give up bodily activities. They eat less, they sleep less. Some of them hardly even speak. They only speak when it's required. They learn how to downscale all material activities until it actually becomes practically nil, and they're simply engaged in discussing scripture, performing austerities, doing various types of meditation, like that.
Okay, Guru Maharaj.
If you want to know what Jnana Yoga is, in 11th canto, there's a whole chapter. Turn to that chapter, Anasuya, called
Yes.
Jnana Yoga.
Which chapter, Maharaj?
It's just look up 11th canto down the list and see which one it is.
Okay, I'm going to share it again, Marge, so that you can
Just go through the listing and see which one says Jnana Yoga. There it is, 28 Jnana Yoga.
11:10 was pretty packed, Marge.
Oh, it's great. Okay, here you go. You want to read the chapter description?
Yes, Marge. This chapter briefly summarizes the process of Jnana Yoga, which previous chapters described in detail. Every created thing in this universe is a material product of the three modes of nature, is subject to sensory perception, and is essentially unreal. Actually, the designations of good and bad, oops, sorry, my finger just went crazy. That actually the definition of good and bad that we assign to the various objects and activities of this world are all superficial. It is better to avoid condemning or praising anything of this world because doing so simply entangles one in matter and deprives one of the higher goals of spiritual life. Hidden within every object of the material universe is a spirit soul who underlies both the causes and products of manifest existence. One should see things in this light and thus move about the material world in a mood of detachment. Shall I go on, Maharaj?
Well, what do you think, Revati? You got an idea now?
Yes, Guru. The reason I asked is like, as you always say, consciousness is everything. So sometimes, even though we perform bhakti yoga, we have that consciousness that, we need to come out of these modes. But still, our goal, as you mentioned, Sadhya, is like, Krishna consciousness. So I just want.
Jnani say this whole world is unreal.
Okay.
We also say it's unreal, but it is, we say it is unreal in the sense that it's temporary. So they throw out everything material, good and bad.
Okay.
And they say, and we also say the same thing, good and bad is simply mental speculation. This is good, this is bad. It's someone's idea, that's all. For somebody, this is good. For somebody else, the same thing is bad. So good and bad is mental speculation. So they take that to the ultimate.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I got it.
So it says here, the absolute truth exists everywhere, both positively by its manifestations and negativity by its aloofness. So yeah, to detach yourself from everything material means to get out of the illusion.
Yeah.
But unless they take it to the next step, engage in devotional service, then they fall down back into the material world again because they don't engage in devotional service. So they can climb very high on the ladder of bhakti. We read that verse the other day, Aruna Krishnena Padam Padam Padantiyada. That they go very high on the spiritual platform, but because they have no regard for the lotus feet of the Lord, Padantiyada means they fall down again and come back to the material world to take up material activities again. So devotional service keeps you in the spiritual energy because Krishna is not part of this material world. So if you stay connected to Krishna in service, you're getting out of the material world, and at the same time you're moving into the spiritual energy. And then spiritual consciousness is developing at the same time. Then you start to see this world for what it is. You see that you have no factual relationship with anything in this world, because any relationship we adopt in this world is simply it's a mental speculation. That's all. We adopt this relationship with this situation. We give up this one. We do another one. We do another one. We give up this one. We try to give it up all. We take on it all. Let me enjoy everything. No, let me renounce everything. Let me enjoy this much. Let me renounce it. No, it's just so the Gyanis, they know all of it is just a mental gymnastics. So they give it up all. But because they don't take up devotional service, active serving the Lord, well, they fall down again into the material world. You must engage in devotional service. That's bhakti. That keeps you above the modes and brings you to devotional life and just beyond the point of just philosophical speculation about the nature of the material existence.
Yes, very much. Yeah, I got that point. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's so important to devotional
There's
service.
many people, there's many jnanis around. They just like the philosophical. They won't do any service, but they just like to read books and discuss it.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. Yeah, I got it, Guru Maharaj. Active service is so important, so we don't end up as a jnani.
They can quote so many scriptures, but they can't come to the point of realizing their relationship with the Lord. Krishna says, Bhakti Amam Avijananti. I'm only gotten by bhakti, by devotional service, no other way. Not by jnana, not by yoga, not by karma, none of these ways. Krishna is, what we say, attracted.
Thank you, Revati. Very nice question. Very nice. Thank you. Any other questions from devotees, please? Do raise your hand, or you can put it in the chat if you are able to. Let me just go down the chat just to make sure that I did not miss anyone. Okay. If there isn't any questions, Marge, would you like to end with a round of chanting?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Marge.
Okay. Okay, everybody sit up straight with your back erect in the chair or on a cushion, but back must be straight, and you can do this with your left hand. This is called mudra. This is a mudra of concentration. Sometimes we wonder what to do with the left hand. Just keep it like this. You can put it on your leg or in a comfortable situation. And then keep your beads above your waist. And we say we shouldn't put the beads below the waist during the chanting process. You'll see Haridas Thakur, he has his beads like this. I'm on the same level as the chest. Make this one like that. And now you're in the right position for concentration anyway. You want to maximize the ability to concentrate. We begin by chanting the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Ram Krishna Hare Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram Krishna. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Rama Hare. Hare Krishna Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna.